Okay, happy Monday, everyone. Mindfulness Monday. So here's the inspirational quote by none other than Franz Kafka. Simply wait, be quiet, be still. The world will freely offer itself to you. And it makes me think of this uh, probably somewhat overused Buddhist parable of the farmer and his wife and their horse. So I'll entertain you guys for 45 seconds with the story. So, they are hanging out and they have a 13-year-old son. And one day the son leaves the gate to the horse paddock open and the horse runs away. And of course, the farmer and his wife, they're distressed. They think this is the worst thing ever. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We have no horse. And they're upset at the son. And it's a miserable, awful night. The next morning, they wake up to the horse being back, not only being back itself, but there's three mares in tow, and they're in the paddock. And he runs out and he closes it. He's like, "Yes, this is the best day ever. How lucky are we? I don't know what happened, but this is amazing." The following day, the kid, because he's so excited, he starts playing around with the horses. Gets on one of the horses, promptly gets thrown off and breaks his leg. And the farmer and his wife again are like, "Oh my gosh, this is awful. What bad luck. This is terrible." They go to bed that night feeling terrible. And then the next morning they wake up. The king's army is in town recruiting all able-bodied men and boys to go fight the war. But they don't take the 13-year-old son because he has a broken leg. And so that night they go to bed saying, "Oh gosh, how lucky are we? This is amazing." So it's sort of I probably butchered the story. There's a much more eloquent way of delivering it, but you guys get the idea. It just sort of highlights the fickleness of the mind, which is we glom onto negative and positive things depending on what they are, and then we create our entire existence around them. It's just what the mind does. It's probably what kept our ancestors alive over the millennia, and there's a purpose to it, but it sure can lead to a lot of suffering. And I noticed the same sort of twisted relationship that I have to the news cycle these days, right? It's up, it's down. It's like, oh, look at that guy. He said this and they shouldn't have done that. And, you know, yet in Hungary, the elections went in the right direction. Anyway, there's a million examples I could give in my personal life where I'm just bouncing around like that. And I need to remind myself to just remember, like, none of this stuff lasts, right? It just happens. There's an emotional reactivity to it, then it passes, only to be replaced by the next either good or bad thing. Again, none of it's a problem unless we can't recognize what's actually happening or transpiring. So when we don't see that that's how our emotions are being jerked around moment by moment, when we can start seeing it more clearly, there's a kind of freedom that enters the picture, because then we can say, okay, this feels pretty good right now. I'm not going to deny that. And let's see what happens next. So it's not intended to be some kind of like wet blanket on, oh, don't feel anything. But it's just a note of caution to say the mind attaches to things. It's a pretty fickle process. And the more we can be aware of it, I think the more we cultivate a sense of equanimity. It's just like, I'm okay with the ups and downs. No matter what happens, I'm steady. I get that this is just the way life is. And yeah, anyway, probably pun intended, beat that horse to death. So let's try it out in a short meditation. So close your eyes. Just see what presents itself as you close your eyes. Where does your attention go? What do you notice about the feeling tone of whatever the mind attached to in that moment? For some of you, maybe, oh, this feels great, closing my eyes, It's relaxing, feels wonderful. For some of you, it might have been like, oh crap, here we go again. There's no judgment, there's no good or bad. It's just sort of settling into saying, like, oh, okay, this is what's happening right now. You're safe. You're able to be on this call. So, by definition, that means that there's something relatively stable happening, at least in this moment. But there's an element here of just being unemotional about our emotions. That sounds like an oxymoron, but the sentiment there is just being able to be with whatever comes up without getting triggered by it. Now we're going to flex our waiting muscles. So think of something. I'll go for the cheap shot here. Just think of something in the news cycle that agitates you, that you find irritating or upsetting. That these guys are doing this and those guys are doing that. Just whatever it is for you, just notice that. Notice the words, the images, sensations in the body. Then imagine yourself just waiting. You're just going to outwait whatever this negative thing is in the news cycle. You know it's going to be replaced by something else. You don't know what it is. Sort of getting in touch with this capacity to just wait, be still. As far as the mind is concerned, the next thing might be worse. It might be better. Who knows? We're just setting the intention to just wait and see what happens next. Waiting with openness, and calm, curiosity. That's the skill. That's the positivity skill. Because the truth is, none of us have any idea what's going to happen next. So we're just going to wait, make space for whatever happens next. And then let's shift to the opposite end of the spectrum and think of something awesome that happened recently. The birthday, the phone call, kind words from someone. Just feel into that. Know that this too is transient. It's impermanent. It feels great. Acknowledge it. Notice what it feels like in the body. So and so said this. Oh, that felt great. My team won in the game, whatever it might be. I was so excited. That felt wonderful. And then just realize that that too is just a fleeting, passing moment. So hanging on to it is a recipe for disappointment. Things with this family member are going great right now. Maybe it's possible to always inhabit this space. The idea here is just to say, yeah, I have no idea. Maybe, maybe not, but I'm okay right now. So I can see it clearly. I'm okay no matter what happens. The capacity to just take this attitude of this waiting and seeing allows us to see how the mind wants to glom onto positivity and negativity and create its story. And the skill of being able to just wait and see gives us space, gives us time and a kind of freedom and equanimity to just see what's going to unfold next because it's all beyond our control anyway. Take a deep breath in through the nose, long, slow out breath to the mouth. Relax the hands and the belly. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in and out. Relaxing the hands, the belly, the throat, the chest, the shoulders, the eyes. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. Open your eyes. Ah, I feel like could keep going on for a while longer, but we're out of time. So hope to see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone.